Hey guys, so I'm here with my May reading wrap up. It's crazy that May is already over. The time is just flying by. As always, I have everything that I read typed up in front of me so I don't forget anything and I don't forget what I've given things. This month I read 11 books. Yes, it was 11. 6 physical books and 5 Kindle books. As always, I'll show you the physical books first. The first book that I read in May was The Wedding Diary by Margaret James, and this was disappointing for me. It's supposed to be like a really cute, romantic, contemporary, adult contemporary, but it just fell flat for me. I felt the female protagonist was so weak. Her fiance is basically a jackass. He doesn't do anything. He sponges off of her, and she just takes it, and he disappears basically to go and find himself, and she mopes around after him thinking that he'll come back. She starts to feel something for this guy called Adam, who's the male protagonist in this, but as soon as her boyfriend comes back, Jack I think his name was, she just falls all over him again. She's so weak. She doesn't, even at the end where she's supposed to be, you know, empowered and grow a bit of a spine, I still felt that she just wasn't strong enough. Adam was, you know, okay. I didn't love him. I didn't hate him. He was a bit too moody. So basically, I just didn't care really in the end about this one. I feel really bad. I think I have already put a review up for it, so if I have, it will be linked below, so you can find like my grievances in full. But it just, for me, it was just under par. The next book was much better, and that's The Humans by Matt Haig. Now, I have already put a review out for this, I know I have, so that will be down below as well. But this is such a unique and quirky book. It's in an alien's point of view, and basically a human maths professor solves this huge maths problem called the Riemann hypothesis, and the aliens are much more advanced, and they basically find out that he solved it, and before he can tell anyone, they kill him and replace him with an alien that looks like him, and he is to assume his life and kill anyone that he might have told about the Riemann hypothesis. And his observations on humans are very, very funny, and you see him sort of start out hating humans, or, you know, finding them sort of disgusting, and he actually ends up falling in love with the professor's wife, and just changing his whole outlook on humans, and it was very funny. Definitely recommend this one. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. You've got to check this one out. It's so different from anything else you'll have ever read. It's fantastic. It makes you look at ourselves differently as well. I definitely found that it gave me sort of a different outlook on us as humans, and that was quite, you know, amazing that he could do that, I found anyway. And the next book that I read was Dare You To by Katie McGarry. I've actually done a video review of this. My blog review hasn't gone up yet, but I'll leave a link to the video review in case you haven't seen it. This is sort of not a sequel to Pushing the Limits, but like a companion novel. It's about Beth Risk from Pushing the Limits, and Ryan, who is sort of a baseball jock, and their unlikely romance. I loved this one. It was 5 out of 5. Even though I did give it 5 out of 5, I don't think it was as good as Pushing the Limits. I think Pushing the Limits has remained my favourite, but loved this one. I would definitely reread it. I don't know whether to purchase a finished copy, because the UK finished copy is going to be, all red, and I don't really like it. I like the US copy, but it won't match my UK copy of Pushing the Limits, so it's a conundrum, guys. It's such a little thing to be like obsessing over, but I just prefer this cover, Um, the next one that I read was Eternally Yours by Kate Tiernan. This is the third and final book in the Immortal Beloved trilogy. I read the first two books in April, and this was a fantastic end to the series. I can't say too much because it will spoil it for you, but it's about these immortals, and because of their nature, really, they become very sort of jaded and become quite nasty. So a rehab center is sort of set up, and they go to learn how to be good and be more human, really. And um, our protagonist is Nastasia, and she basically, in the first book in the series, something happens that brings her up with a jolt, and she realizes how truly horrible she's become, and she wants to become a better person. And then sort of everything's unleashed in that she finds out she has this ancient power. Her family was one of the real powerhouses, and people want her dead, and sort of chaos ensues. And this was a really good end to the series. I gave it 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed the series. I definitely recommend this one if you like quirky or really funny narrators. I really enjoyed the narration on this. Kate Tiernan's writing is fantastic. Next one I read was Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. Now, I picked this one up because, well, as you guys know, Nicholas Sparks is very hit or miss for me. I either really like his books or I just don't connect with them. I wanted to read this one because I love the look of the movie. I tend to like the Nicholas Sparks movies more, the ones that I've seen, anyway. But I love this actor, Josh. I never know how to say his name. No, I'm not even going to attempt it. But I love him. He's in When in Rome, and I just love him. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but I really like him. I can't say I'm obsessed because I don't know how to say his freaking name, but I really like him. And the movie, like, trailer and everything was like, oh my god, I need to see this movie. But when it came out at the cinema, no one wanted to see it with me, so I haven't been able to see it. So I have to wait. I think it's until June or July, for the DVD. So I read this to sort of tide me over until I can see the movie. And I enjoyed this one. It's not been my favourite Nicholas Sparks. I would say that's still The Rescue and The Lucky One. But definitely one I enjoyed more. I gave it 4 out of 5. It's about a woman that's running from an abusive husband, and she winds up in this small town, and she falls for a widower, and he has 2 young children, and then it's all about that. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm now looking forward to the movie even more. And the last physical book that I read this month was Fever by D. Shulman. I haven't hauled this yet. You probably won't see this it won't be the next haul that I upload, but the one after that. I've been really bad at scheduling and getting hauls recorded. It's been terrible. But when this arrived, something about it was just calling me. I was like, I really want to read that. And normally I don't read. I normally can't read books before I haul them. I feel really weird about it. I like to show you guys it before I read it. But it was just calling to me, and it's about a Roman gladiator in 152 AD, and then about a contemporary schoolgirl in 2012, and somehow their lives become linked by this mysterious fever or virus. And I was really intrigued to see how these two supposedly separate timelines would intersect, and it was really good. I had a few issues, one being that the female protagonist Eva was just too perfect. She had brains, she had beauty, she had musical talent. She was a bit like a Bella Swan character in that guys just fell at her feet for no apparent reason, and she was like indifferent to them. So that was a little bit annoying. D. Shulman did try to like balance it out by giving Eva some sort of home issues, but it just wasn't enough. Eva was just too much, you know. She needed to have some flaws, and it just became a little annoying how perfect she was. My other issue was the insta love. It's there's I can't say too much without spoiling it, but Seth, the Roman gladiator, falls in love with a girl called Livia, in 152 AD, and he's like besotted with her before they've even really had a conversation. He almost gets himself killed just by looking in her eyes, and it was just, I mean, insta love was to the extreme, and that was kind of annoying. My third issue mostly was that you had this virus and you had Eva trying to find out what this virus was, but you never find out why anything is happening. It's just bam, it's happening, and nothing is resolved, and it's very frustrating because you're like, all these things are happening and you're not finding out why for any of it. But I still thoroughly enjoyed this one, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 because I was still hooked by the story. I still wanted to know. I was really into it, so I'm hoping that the sequel, which is Delirium, which I also have but I haven't read yet, starts to give me that sort of closure, that knowledge that I need. So on to the books that I read on my Kindle. They're all part of the same series, and it's the With Me in Seattle series by, what's her name? Kirsten Proby. I never remember the name. So yeah, I read books 1 to 4 in that, plus the little novella. And I read these basically because I kept seeing number 4, which is called Rock With Me. It kept popping up on Goodreads and on Facebook and stuff, and all these people were super excited for it. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that sounds quite good. But obviously it said number 4. And even though each book is kind of a standalone in that they're all about separate couples, I wanted to read them in order, just in case something popped up. So the first one is Come Away With Me. I gave it 4 out of 5. It was good, definitely insta-lovey, but it was just a really quick read, like reading it in a day type thing. Really light sort of relief. It was good. I did read the little e-novella, which is 1.5. I gave that 4 out of 5 as well. That would read that in like half an hour. It was super short. Still enjoyed it. Book 2, Fight With Me, would probably be my favourite. I gave that 4 out of 5 as well. But I did really, really enjoy that one. Number 3, I only gave 3.5 out of 5 because, again, it was insta-love, but I didn't find the characters as believable as the others. Wasn't as into that. And number 4, which was the whole reason I started reading the series as well, I gave 4 out of 5. Enjoyed that one. But the series as a whole, I felt like I was just getting into the story. I was just feeling like, oh yeah, they're getting a good plot, and everything would sort of dissolve into erotica. It is supposed to be adult contemporary / erotic fiction, but I found the sex scenes, sorry if this is awkward, it's definitely awkward for me talking about it, they were just the same in all of the books. They were just the same, and there was just too many of them. I felt like the plot suffered because there was just too much of that in it. A little of it is fine, but I just felt like it was too samey, and you would think, oh yes, this is gonna happen, some sort of plot thing. In one of them, one of the guys has an ex-wife, and you think, oh, there's gonna be something really sort of what's the word? I can't think of the word. There's just going to be some sort of drama, but it all just fizzles out, and then bam, you just have sex. And I just feel like there needed to be more going on other than sex for them to be better. But I still overall enjoyed them. So yeah, that's everything that I've read. I read some great books this month. The Humans definitely stands out this month. And Dare You To by Katie McGarry, which I was very excited for. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Happy reading.